Whoa.
Hey everyone, this is Christy Wright with Libertas Physical Therapy, and I'm here with my friend Connie Tebby. She is an RN and a health restorative coach, and we are so excited to talk to you today about fasting. So, Connie, tell us a little bit about what fasting is and what the benefits are.
Okay. I think everybody has kind of a misconception about what fasting is, and we're hearing more and more about benefits of fasting. And really, it's not that complicated to get started, in my opinion, because if you decide to fast, it depends on what people are doing as far as their eating patterns. Okay. So a fasting lifestyle would start at maybe 13 to 15 hours of fasting. And that means in a 24-hour period, you're not eating those 13 to 15 hours, right? So maybe you're doing a 12-hour fast and you don't even realize that's what you're doing. And so say you're eating at 6 in the evening and then you don't eat till 6 in the morning or say 7. You're fasting during that time.
Yeah.
So, but there are some people that are still eating those 3 meals a day with the snacks. And so that generally will take a little bit of practice to get into that fasting lifestyle.
Okay, and what about liquids during a fast?
During a fast, a lot of times, of course, water is always important. Black coffee. You can do mineral water and those types of things. One of the things that I have learned too is that some people will add, like, say, an MCT oil or something to their coffee, and that can be okay. But generally speaking, a good way to know if that pulls you out of a fast is to be able to test your blood sugar before you drink that coffee with the MCT oil, and then 30 minutes after.
Okay.
And if that blood sugar number has gone up 9 points, then you've been pulled out, of a fast.
Okay. I know it's kind of different for everybody and depending on health. And with everything, before you start a fast, you should always talk to your healthcare provider.
Yes.
Make sure you don't have any other issues. This is not medical advice. This is just general information about fasting because it's kind of trendy right now. Intermittent fasting is really big in our community. So Connie is a great resource to answer some of these questions. What, though, is a healthy blood sugar to kind of be in? Just in general, what are
70 to 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And generally, if you eat, of course, that blood sugar is going to go up. Say, half an hour after you eat, it'll probably go up. But after a couple hours, that should go back into that normal range again, or that best range.
Okay. And what are the benefits of fasting?
It can decrease inflammation. It can reset your gut if you're having a lot of gut issues. It can help with that. Level out your blood sugars, because if someone's having like maybe they're type 2 diabetic or insulin resistant, it's a good way to try to balance your blood sugars. Hormones is another thing. There's just so many benefits. Decreasing brain inflammation and rebooting those cells.
Yeah.
There's just so many. The benefits go on and on.
So who should be fasting?
The people that shouldn't, can I start with that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Most everybody it's good for, except for if you're pregnant. You don't want to fast if you're pregnant. If you are breastfeeding, I know that the recommendation I've heard is not to fast more than, say, 15 hours if you're breastfeeding.
Okay.
And I was trying to think, there's another one. Oh, if you have an eating disorder, it's not recommended. And again, like you said, if say you've got you're type 2 diabetic, you should always talk to your doctor first before doing any of that kind of thing, because you're going to need coaching and recommendations there.
So 12 to 15 hours is a good place to start, but what about those 16 to 20 hour fasts? Does that give you any benefit?
Oh yeah. When you're getting up towards 16 and 17 hours, there's different variations of fast, which is always good to do once you kind of get into the fasting lifestyle and get, say, you're at 13 to 15 hours. That's a good place to start. Is once you get to 16, 17 hours, you're looking at what they call autophagy fasting, which is where your body's cleaning up those damaged cells.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's a 24-hour fast, which is really good for the reset of the gut. And I've heard some research on actually helping with coronary artery disease and things like that. And then you've got a 36-hour fast, which they consider that kind of the fat burning fast.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole idea is to try to get your body to flex in and out of sugar burner versus fat burning.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's say I've done my 16-hour fast. I'm feeling great. Can I just eat a cheeseburger?
I mean, you can eat whatever you want, but I would recommend not doing that. Especially if you do an extended fast, you definitely don't want to jump into and I would consider probably 24 hours or more.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to want to jump into a meal like that for sure, because you're not going to feel good.
Right. Because it's true, right? What you break your fast with is what
It's
your
important.
body will.
Yes.
Yeah. So, guys, if you are doing a long-term fast, you're staying hydrated, but what you break your fast with is going to potentially inflame your gut again and undo all of that. So breaking it with a lean protein or a healthy fat or collagen or something like that.
A good bone
broth. Yep, right.
It's really good.
Yeah, and then wait about 30 minutes to an hour. Would you agree?
At least.
Yeah.
At least an hour.
And then have a larger meal. But you definitely don't want to go hit buffet after a 24-hour fast. You're going to feel terrible and you're going to undo all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So how often should people be fasting?
It depends on each individual, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's going to depend. The cool thing about fasting is it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
And you can accommodate that to your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that looks like, and I think that depends on what the need is for the individual.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what about men and women? Is there a difference?
Yes. Much easier for men because their primary hormone is testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a little estrogen in there, but mainly testosterone. I think someone said that testosterone comes in every 15 minutes for men.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
And so, but women, we're dealing with all the hormones, and especially a cycling woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really important to fast according to your cycle.
Okay.
And Dr. Mindy Pelz has come out with a book, Fast Like a Girl. I have nothing to do with getting anything from this, but other than great information, and following her stuff is great. But she has mapped out the appropriate fasts, food, exercise according to the cycling, the cycle.
Nice.
So it's called a fasting cycle.
Yeah.
Perimenopause, still, you kind of want to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Postmenopause, we're usually a little more open, which I'm in that group, to not worry so much about when you're fasting. Although they do recommend going by the moon cycle, which is a whole nother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, we could do a super long video about women fasting, and if you want that, we absolutely will. But to kind of sum that up is pay attention to your cycle. People with PCOS who have higher testosterone, those are things to think about as well. Women tend to have more ghrelin hormone, which is the hunger hormone. Mm-hmm. So if you and your husband are fasting at the same time and it's harder for you and he's doing fine, it's just the way you're created. That's just how it is. So is there anything else we want to talk about with fasting?
I guess I just kind of want to go back to the fact that, and I hadn't really thought about this, but we were designed to fast.
Yeah, we didn't have Walmart.
No, we didn't have a refrigerator.
Right.
We didn't have any of that stuff. And back in the caveman time, I mean, they feast and famined, right? Because they went out and caught their kill, and then they'd have all that to eat, and then they may go days without anything to eat. And so the body turns in and burns the fat that they've stored and can survive that way. We can do that too. We have to practice it because of all that we have available anymore.
Yeah. So to kind of sum up what we've got so far, it's if you're new to fasting, try 12 to 15 hours. Maybe try that 3 to 4 days a week and see how you do.
I mean, if you're doing, maybe you're only doing 8 hours, and push it back an hour in the morning, and just do that for a couple of days, and then push it back another hour and do it for a couple of days until you reach that point.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and then always kind of see how your body. Now, the signs of low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, and detox can kind of be the same. Yeah. So, what are some signs of detox? And low blood sugar.
Headache. Feeling jittery. That was probably more blood sugar, I feel like. The detox would be just feeling more unwell, nauseated, headache. maybe mental confusion.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Those types of things. Yeah.
Those are things to think of, everybody, because this is what she was talking about earlier about checking your blood sugar. If you were getting to where you're doing longer term fasts and you're like, man, I always have a headache, or man, my body hurts, it might be that you're detoxing.
Yeah.
So give yourself credit for what's going on and always know what's going on with your body. So check your blood sugar, talk to your physician, but sometimes being uncomfortable is a stepping stone to being well.
Yeah. Lean into what your body's communicating.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we didn't cover?
I mean, there's so many things
Yeah.
to cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are the main things.
Yeah. So be smart, be healthy, know your body. We'll do some more videos coming up about just education. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and send them over libertaspt.com, and we can do videos based upon your questions. But we'll probably do an in-depth one on women, because depending on where you are in your cycle and with age, it really matters. But personally, I try at least one day a week to do a 20 to 24 hour fast. And then I'll do intermittent fasting 2 or 3 other days of the week for my body. That's just what works. There are a couple days a week where I'm like, I'm gonna have coffee creamer today, or I know I'm gonna have breakfast. But on my other days, so it doesn't have to be every day, but for me, it keeps my metabolism guessing.
I think that if you can do at least a 12 to 13 hour, most of the days a week. I know Dr. Mindy mentions doing like, say 4 days of, 15 hour, and then one day of 24-hour fast. And then, just kind of mixing it up, because if you do the same thing all the time, then you might not find it a great benefit. As far as weight loss, you just kind of have to figure out where you are with that.
Yeah.
I know the 36-hour, but you have to work up to that. You can't just jump into anything like that.
That's dangerous, and you'll feel terrible.
Yeah, and just doing the 12, 13, 15 hour may make a difference.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to lean into what your body's telling you.
All right, everybody. We will see you soon.
Thank you.